tomorrow morning I am leaving to set off on a 3-state adventure. We're going to be stopping in Colorado, then we're going to move on to Texas, and then we're going to spend a week in Florida. So I am planning to make a reading vlog out of this. So basically this video is what I read on vacation. I picked up this pretty hefty stack from my little upstairs library. I'm going to be bringing The Favorites by Layne Fargo, The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. So excited to read that. Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. Very excited to read this as well. And Tom Lake by Patchett. We have one more book we have to add. The last book is Great Big Beautiful Life. This is probably one of my most anticipated reads of 2025. I absolutely love Emily Henry and I'm so excited to pick this up. That being said, I also have this book stamp that I got for Christmas from my brother-in-law and I'm excited to put it to use. So since I'm going to be traveling with all these books, I figured it'd be cool to kind of stamp them all. That way they get lost, someone knows who it belongs to. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the first page of each book. So pretty, guys. This is so cute. So I'm gonna go ahead, stamp all of these, and then I'm going straight to sleep, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when our adventure begins. Hi guys, I finally made it to my destination. I am in Denver, Colorado, and I'm so excited to be here. We are staying at the most beautiful resort, and I'm so sad that I only have today and tomorrow here. Like, I wish I could extend this stay, but the rest of the trip is gonna be fun, so I'm just gonna enjoy the time that I have here. So I got to the hotel around 2. It took a little while to navigate the Denver airport. If you've ever been, you know it's huge, and so like just from the gate to baggage claim was just like a wild experience. Anyway, I made it and I'm super happy to be here. I started reading The Conditions of Will on the plane and I actually got to page 190. Got to page 190, which is chapter 27. And I actually didn't track this on Goodreads yet, so I'm not really sure how far into it I am. So I'll go ahead and update Goodreads in a bit. I'm absolutely loving it. I think these characters are so complex and just the way Jessa Hastings writing, as always, it's absolutely phenomenal. This book is so beautiful. Like the cover is insane. And I absolutely love the pages too. They're like weathered pages and they're not like all super straight. It's actually like a work of art. I'm really enjoying this book and I feel like I'll talk to you guys about it a little bit more. Like I'll get more into the characters and like kind of what I love about it in a bit, but I'm gonna actually go ahead and run to the gym because I just went and did like a little sweep of the place. The gym is so nice and I didn't get to work out this morning before my flight, which I was trying to do, but I was honestly too tired because I went to sleep pretty late. I finished the last episode of Game of Thrones. And I can't talk about it yet. I knew what was gonna happen, but I just can't talk about it yet. So I finished the last episode, then I had to pack, and so I went to sleep pretty late and I couldn't get up. So I'm gonna go ahead, go to the gym, and then I think I'm gonna sit by the pool and read a little bit more of this, and then I'll check in with you guys later, just letting you guys know that I made it. Today is day 2. Last night we went to the gym, we went to the pool, and then I was so tired. There's like a 2-hour time difference here, so I didn't realize how tired I was gonna be. So didn't do too much after that, but right now, I actually don't know what time it is, but right now it's currently 9 a.m. Colorado time. So first things first, need to go find coffee, and then I think I'm gonna go sit by the pool for a little bit. I really wanted to do like some kind of hike on this trip, but I have like a meeting later today at 4, and so it's just kind of like not lining up, but that's fine. It just means I'll have to come back again to Colorado, maybe not Denver specifically. I think I'm just gonna mostly then end up spending the day by the pool. We are still reading The Conditions of Will. I don't think I read that many more pages. I was really sleepy. I think I'm at 196, and I told you guys that on the plane I got to like 191 or something. So good. The themes in this book are really heavy, so just in case you're interested in reading about it, it's definitely very heavily focused on grief. It's very heavily focused on dysfunctional family dynamics. There's definitely some abuse that happens, but the characters are so layered and so complex, and I really love that. On the surface, everyone is just like very fake and like happy and this and that, but the undercurrents are that there's been so much trauma in this family and they don't know how to function as a family anymore, but there's this big event that's, you know, happened in their life that is bringing them all back together. And it's really interesting because it also explores when you're an adult or you've been away from home for a while and you go back home, how like your different family dynamics can be triggering, which I think is so interesting. Especially in this, it's like her siblings triggering her and stuff. And there was a quote about it. I don't even know where to begin looking to find it because I haven't been like annotating or anything. I do have like a few bottom pages dog-eared where I want to put some like sticky tabs because I did bring some with me, but I'll do that later. But yeah, like just so good. And the romance in this is also very good. Like I said, these characters are so complex and layered, and it just makes the story that much more interesting. I am gonna go get coffee and breakfast. I think my aunt's coming with me. We're gonna go down there and fuel up for the day and just spend some time in the sun.
Something to arrive, love to come along. Now our dreams are coming true. Through the good times and the bad, I'll be standing there by you. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe I'm living heaven. Love is all that I need.
Good morning, you guys. It has been a few days since I've picked up the camera to vlog. I'm currently in Florida visiting my family. I'm at my parents' house, and I didn't vlog in Texas at all, I think. It was just like a super short trip, honestly. It went by so much faster than I expected it to. We were there to meet our new niece and to celebrate our first niece's second birthday, so we were just kind of like caught up spending time with family, and it was really nice. But I did finish a book, which I'm going to talk about. I finished a book while I was there. I got here on Sunday, and today is Friday. So that means I've been here for quite a few days and I haven't picked up the camera, but I've been reading, and so I'm gonna give you guys all the updates. It's just been really nice to spend time with family. I'm still in my PJs and I'm drinking my coffee, but I just wanted to like have a little chat with you guys and catch you up on what I'm reading and all that good stuff. As you guys know, I started with reading The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. This is one of her most recent releases, but she does have another one releasing on July 13th, which I am going to pre-order today because I absolutely must read it. I didn't read Never because I wasn't really interested in the premise of the story. I just never felt like I wanted to pick it up. So this is the first book I've picked up since reading the Magnolia Parks series, the Magnolia Parks universe really, and I have to say it took me right back into how I felt while reading Magnolia Parks. And I think what's so special about the way that Jessa Hastings writes is, she's also said this on her Instagram before, she tries to kind of write in not just the main big moments, but she also writes in the like mundane human everyday moments, and it kind of makes you feel like you're living with the characters. I know some people get bored by stuff like that, but for me it is the bread and butter. Like I was so happy when I was like a quarter to halfway through the book and like there was still so much to go, because I literally was just enjoying my time being with these characters, being a part of their world. And I kind of say a similar thing when I talk about Magnolia Parks, about how like you feel like you're just hanging out with the box set, and like it's just such a special, unique thing to be able to do as a writer. I think I love it. I gave this 5 stars. This was hands down one of my favorite reads of the year. It was so good. Like, we'll talk about the romance in a minute, but just the way that the family dynamic was set up and the way that Georgia was portrayed, although she's like this very strong character who's very sure of herself through years of like therapy and distance from her family, she's also this people pleaser, and I just felt like there was something so human about her character. And I also really enjoyed the times where she was talking about Sam Penny and talking about his embracement of being human and how he was so honest, and something about that was just like really gratifying to read. I feel like most of us in our 20s are in a phase of trying to figure out who we are and trying to better ourselves and like work through like, you know, the things that we know are problematic about ourselves. And I feel like a lot of the things that she said about Sam Penny, who is this very self-actualized character and who has worked through a lot of things and is still working through a lot of things and is very forthcoming and very honest and owns every part of his story, something about that was very special to me. I loved it. I loved the setting, whether they were in Charleston or whether they were in, I think this is set in Charleston, in New Orleans. Like, I just absolutely loved it. Everything about the story was beautiful to me. This whole theme of accepting yourself but also trying to be a better person despite your shortcomings. The characters were just so human in this book. The romance was absolutely beautiful in this story. I mean, I was swooning. I was kicking my feet. I was giggling. I was rooting for them so hard. Their vulnerability with each other, the way that Sam Penny protected Georgia, who for most of her life has never been protected, you know? Like, I don't know. It was a really beautiful story. One of the things I really appreciate about the way that Jessa Hastings writes is you can tell she does a lot of research. Like, when she was writing Magnolia Parks, she would go into such great detail to talk about what Magnolia was wearing. Magnolia was this character who cares a lot about clothes, who cares a lot about fashion, and so she would go through like painstaking detail to paint the picture of what she was wearing. You could actually look it up and find what she was wearing. And I think it's so interesting that in The Conditions of Will, she did a similar thing. Georgia's in like this PhD program, I believe, doing psychology and learning how to read people. There was a lot of reference to something called AU, and then it'd be like a number after, and I looked it up and I already forget what it means. Essentially, it's like this codex of facial expressions. It's called action units, and they're the fundamental components of facial expressions as defined by the facial action coding system. It represents specific observable muscle movements that contribute to facial expression. Georgia's like this person who can read people very, very well. They call her like a human lie detector. The reference to like the different facial expressions, like, you know that Jessa had to do so much research on that, and I just thought it was incredible, and that's why she is a superior writer to me, honestly. Next, I picked up Between Friends and Lovers. So this is by Shirlene Obuobi. I'm still reading this, but I have this much left, so I'm on page 323 of like, oh, I'm almost done. I'm on page 322 of 354, so I'm almost done, and I think I'm gonna sit here and finish this with you guys. I absolutely love this book. At first, I was kind of confused. I was a little bit nervous by the way that it started, that it was gonna be like kind of like a corny romance, like, you know, those romances, those are the kind of romances that I try to stay away from, that kind of don't have any like emotional depth to them, don't have real human struggles, you know, underlying. Those I can't really read. I can't get into them, and I was kind of afraid that that was where this was going, but I couldn't have been more wrong. And I actually ended up reading so much of this yesterday. I think I was probably like just under 100 pages through this, maybe like page 80 something, and I read all the way to page 322. That's all I did yesterday, was read this book. This is kind of like a love triangle going on. So we have Dr. Josephine Boateng, I hope I said that right, and she has these 2 love interests. One of them is a person that she's been friends with for years. I mean, like, she has been friends with him for so long, and they're so close that she's integrated into his family essentially, but they've always just been like super close friends, and he's always dated other people. They have this like really close relationship where they say like, I love you, like that kind of a friendship, and it starts to dawn on her like, no, like, I actually am in love with you. I don't just love you as a friend. Then we have Malcolm, who she calls Mal, or who goes by Mal, who comes into the story. He obviously has not known her for all of these years of her life, but he has something to bring to the table too. And let me just say, I absolutely love Mal. I am obsessed with him. He is definitely added to the book boyfriend roster. He is just so thoughtful, so patient. He's another very self-actualized male main character, and I guess I like that. I like when the male main characters are very aware of themselves, even if they're not perfect people, but they're aware of themselves and their shortcomings, and they actively work through those things. It's kind of funny because it has excerpts from some of my favorite authors. So Emily Henry's on the front cover, Ali Hazelwood on the back, Christina Lauren, and Abby Jimenez. Another reason that I actually picked this book up is because I saw her on Instagram, and I think I follow her on Instagram, but she is a doctor. She is a cardiologist, I believe, and I just thought it's so amazing that she could be a cardiologist and write a romance book. That's kind of like the same feelings I have about Ali Hazelwood, like women in STEM, women in medicine who are like also writing romance books. Like, it gives me hope for my future that maybe one day that could be me. I really love when those two worlds intersect, and so that was my initial interest in picking this book up. When I finish this, that'll be 2 books that I've finished so far, and I leave on Sunday, so we'll see how much more I get through. Hopefully this is giving you guys like a little look into how much I realistically read while I'm traveling. That being said, let's go ahead and finish this one. So sweet. I'm somewhere between a 4.75 and a 5-star for this. I really loved the depth of the story, the depth of the characters. I really loved this. This was so good. I felt like the pacing of it was perfect. Nothing felt like rushed or forced. I enjoyed the romance so much. And I loved our main character, Josephine, because she's this super strong character. She comes across as somebody who is really confident in who she is and who knows who she is and who's very brave and outspoken and out there. But as you get further into the story, it's not that you learn that she is not that. She very much is that, but you learn like all that she's had to go through to get to that point, and she is just amazing. Like, I learned some things from her, or she inspired me to be stronger, to be more brave, more outspoken, and to go after what you want. But I really felt like she was humanized by the fact that those things didn't necessarily come easy to her, and she had her own struggle with mental health, and I felt like that really humanized her and made her very real, but was also still like inspiring to see that like despite those struggles she could get to where she is in her life and pave her own way. And I love the way that she's described as this person who brings out the best in everyone around her. 2 books down so far on this trip, and today I'm going to be starting the 3rd one, which is going to be The Favorite. So my understanding is that this book is about an ice skating pair. I guess there's a little bit of like interview style formatting in it. I'm really excited to read it. I've had this for a while and I've been wanting to read it, so I'm excited to dive into this. So we're currently in this is my childhood bedroom, but it's just the bedroom that I lived in for years, and it's always so nostalgic being back in here because I love the way that my parents keep my room exactly the same. I told you guys that I was going to be picking up, I forget what the name of the book is right now. The ice skating one. Yeah, I told you guys I was going to be picking up a different book, but I was doing some thinking. I actually brought the new Emily Henry release with me, Great Big Beautiful Life, and I was like, okay, one of these books is going to be read here and one of them is going to be read on the plane. And when I was thinking between the 2 of them, I was like, it doesn't make sense to read Emily Henry on the plane. Emily Henry books are books that you read when you're sitting down somewhere for, you know, a few days and you have time to read it and like really enjoy the story and like read it in a comfortable way. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. Em Hen, she deserves a mood, and I just want to show you guys. This is the cover. We're gonna take off the cover and just admire this. It is gorgeous, and it says it was brief and it was beautiful. This is the inside covers. And I just love how much like attention to detail there is. And I feel like I haven't gotten to show you guys this yet, but I don't know if you remember in the beginning of this video, I used the stamp that my brother-in-law got me for Christmas. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. I'm really hoping that this does not disappoint. I've never met an Em Hen book that I did not like. room look familiar? I got back home yesterday and I just want to end this video off by sharing with you guys what I ended up reading during my week and a half of travel. The last thing I told you guys I was gonna read was The Favorites by Layne Fargo, but I actually ended up not picking this up and I picked up Great Big Beautiful Life instead. I just felt like it was gonna be a better read for the times, but actually I ended up reading to page 26 and honestly I wasn't having a great time. I was not having a great time at all, and that makes me really sad. Obviously I have to finish this book, it's just not going to be finished in this video, but I honestly didn't enjoy the main character that much. Now granted, I'm only 26 pages in, so a lot can change, but I just wasn't really feeling it. So I then switched over to Tom Lake, which was such an unexpected read. I absolutely loved it. The best way that I can describe this book is if the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Little Women had a baby. That's exactly what this book was. It was so good. I mean, I looked at the reviews on Goodreads and I felt like they were so harsh. I had such a good time reading this, and even on Goodreads I wrote that this was one of the coziest books I've ever read. This was a beautiful book. I dog-eared so many of the pages, and I've honestly dog-eared a lot of pages out of all the books that I've read. I need to go back and annotate, but I'm rating this a 4.25. It was a really solid book, and that brings me back to the rating of Between Friends and Lovers. I know I said I was going to rate this somewhere between a 4.75 and a 5, but I was thinking about it some more and really like trying to rate it in terms of how I do my rating system, and it just didn't feel like a 4.75 or a 5-star. So I would give this a 4.25 as well. I absolutely loved both of these books. Like I really loved them. They just weren't 5 stars, and that's okay. Like anywhere from a 4 to a 5 is an excellent, stellar book. So I just had such a good time. They weren't completely life-changing, and that's pretty much what I give a 5-star, like something that's life-changing. On this trip, I read The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. This was a 5-star. I read Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. This was a 4.25. And then I read Tom Lake by Patchett. This was also a 4.25. These were absolutely stellar. And then I read about 26 pages of Great Big Beautiful Life. So I honestly had a great time, and hopefully that is some insight into what I read on vacation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I want you near with the same point of view. I'm always ready, so call me over. We're meant to be like the sun and the moon. I just want you to know I love